Jesse Goldberg-Strassler, joined by Lansing Lugnuts pitcher Ryan Borucki. Ryan, I want to go right into it. The game that you pitched at U.S. Cellular Field, where you struck out all 6 batters you faced. How did you get that invite?
So basically, it was a long story. Actually, it's try to make it short. So I was trying out for area coach with the White Sox team, and they had a gold, like a silver and black game, and it got rained out, and we had to go into a gym. And I threw pretty well. That was the first time I ever hit 90. And so they kind of I think they didn't know who I was. I was real under the radar. So they gave me a call. They're like, "Hey, do you want to play in this game?" It was it was celebrating Double Day. It was he was a player. It was basically like a minority game, and I was one of the only Caucasian guys in the game. So I came in like the 6th or 7th. And I don't know what happened. It was a lot of fun though, because I was the week before I was just at a White Sox game, and I get a call and I'm pitching there, and I have 6 up, 6 down, 6 Ks. That was probably one of the better performances of my career.
How quickly did that pass by, or did it just feel so slow in the moment?
It was fast. It's sometimes if my brother videotaped it, so sometimes I'll look back maybe once or twice in my life, so I've looked back on it, but it was a cool moment. It was a real cool moment.
What was the fallout from it? What immediately happened after that?
I made the area code team, and I got to go to Long Beach. That was a great experience for me, and it kind of put me on the radar for my senior year, and ultimately got me drafted.
From what I had read, you were about 5 feet 8 inches tall.
Yeah.
And then when was the growth spurt?
So basically, starting my junior year, I was 5'8", about 130 pounds. And throughout my junior year, I grew maybe to the end. When I went to summer of going into my senior year, I was about 5'10", and I was 140 pounds. And then all of a sudden, that whole summer, I grew about 6 or 7 inches in about a span of 6 months. And beginning of my senior year, when in the winter when I pitched, I was 6'3", 150 pounds. And then now, if you see me now, I'm 6'4", 200 pounds. So a little different guy than I used to be.
Well, you mentioned touching 90 for the very first time.
Yeah.
Did you realize how hard you were throwing?
I didn't. It was just one of those things where I was in the gym, and there's a bunch of scouts back there. So I think the adrenaline just helped me out a little bit. And I pitched pretty well. I was locating too, which was I've never really thrown that hard. And it was weird because I never got gunned really that much. So when I was getting gunned, I got gunned a little bit before that. I was 85, and then I went there, I was 90, and then the winter of my senior, I was 93. So it was just kept spiking, and I was just oh my God, don't even know.
All right, so let me trace this. You're now pitching in Long Beach, and you're pitching on the team, and suddenly colleges are coming recruiting.
Yeah.
You commit to the University of Iowa. Was this just a whirlwind?
Yeah. So I committed early because I committed my junior year, and because I didn't think my dad. It was kind of favor for my dad. My dad was friends with the coach, so he kind of was helping me out because my dad didn't really think I was going to grow very much, and then all of a sudden I blew up. And all these college coaches were calling me "Hey, do you want to come here, decommit?" And I was like, "Hey, this guy stuck with me from the beginning. I had to stay with him." And I love the University of Iowa. It's a fun time. It's a fun town, and it was a good baseball program.
Baseball is something that really is a part of your family.
Yeah.
How good of a ball player was your dad?
I don't want to blow him up too much. He was decent, I think. He was high school. He played senior year, state champion. He won the MVP of that year. He threw a no-hitter in the semifinal game of the state tournament. Then he took a couple years off of baseball. Then he got picked up by the Phillies when he went back to JUCO. Got picked up by the Phillies. Played with Ryan Sandberg, Julio Franco, George Bell, those kind of guys, and he got all the way up to AA, AAA. So yeah. I don't want to blow him up too much, but it's Father's Day tomorrow, so I gotta be nice to him.
Will he be here?
No, he won't. I'm going home for the All-Star break, so I'll be able to see him.
Ryan, you come from the north side. I was talking to Josh DeGraff, who comes from south side.
Yeah.
He grew up rooting for the Cubs.
Yeah.
You grew up somehow rooting for the White Sox.
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know. It was no offense to Cub fans, but I just couldn't stand them for a while because it's every year they're just oh, it's our year, it's our year, it's our year. and they would be terrible. And I just couldn't stand it anymore. And I can't, it was one of those things. My dad was a Cubs fan growing up because they were the only ones you could really watch on TV, I guess. But then he made the turn to the White Sox. My brother was a White Sox fan, so I really followed my family. So I grew up White Sox fans my whole life. And I just grew to not like the Cubs and Cubs fans. So when I was in South Bend, when I pitched against them, my only goal was I want to beat them so I don't hear that Go Cubs Go song after the game.
Well, you were drafted by the Toronto Blue Jays. Where were you on draft day?
I was the morning of. I was playing golf with my dad. Got a couple calls from a couple teams. I didn't really think I was going to get drafted because I had tore my UCL my senior year, and I just didn't think it was the right thing for me. And then I was sleeping. I woke up. My face was on my phone, vibrate. I woke up. I was like, hello? The scout from the Blue Jays said, hey, picked you in the 15th round, I was like, really? I was like, oh, man. I walked downstairs like, Mom, did I get drafted? She's like, I don't know. I called my dad. He's like, I don't know. And then I look, and I get drafted. So, yeah, it was one of those things where I was just, out of it. I was like, oh, how do you feel? I was like, oh, yeah, I feel fine. I was so out of it at the time. I didn't know what was going on. I had a bunch of text messages from all my buddies that were watching the draft. They're like, yo, congratulations. I didn't even know.
What was the timeline from that point on, the next days and the weeks? What transpired?
Basically, I didn't know what was going to happen because, like I said, I tore my UCL. I didn't know if the money was going to be right, so I kind of just waited around till the very end. They flew me out to Toronto. They showed me around and got some MRIs and stuff, and they offered me enough money that I thought was good enough to skip college and come here, and still the best decision I ever made in my life.
With Lugnuts pitcher Ryan Borucki, you've torn your UCL.
Yes.
So has Jordan Romano.
Yes.
So has Tom Robson, and probably other guys who I'm missing.
Oh, yeah.
Do you ever compare your scars?
Yeah. Romano's is gross. Mine's real clean, as you can see. It's a pretty clean, skinny one, and I took care of it. But last year when we were in rehab together, he's like, I want that thing to be so gross. And now he's paying for it. So that thing's big. It looks like a
Congratulations.
Yeah, I don't even know what it looks like on his arm. But yeah, so I cleaned mine up. But yeah, we do sometimes.
Something that immediately struck me about you was you would sit in the bullpen and I would watch the side sessions of other pitchers work. And it seems to me you understand mechanics, you understand how a pitcher goes about his business. How well do you understand how you yourself throw the baseball?
Yeah, I feel like I know myself pretty well. I mean, the reason why I watch is because I've gone through a lot of changes over the last year in my mechanics. So I kind of try to pick up little things that other guys do. And I just like to see what the other guy's stuff does, you know what I mean? And just being a good teammate, you know what I mean? Try to just be there for him, stuff like that. That's why I watch. And but yeah, I try to pick up stuff. And I've been doing a lot of changes in my mechanics, so I kind of try to pick up little things from all these different pitchers and try to put it all as one to make myself my own unique motion and stuff like that.
When you first joined the Lugnuts, I talked to Jeff Ware about you and Sal Fasano, and both of them said, just watch as you come along, the little adjustments here and there, and the results that are going to come. What have you adjusted?
Definitely my deception and my motion. I felt like when I was in Dunedin, I was showing the ball too early, and they just saw the ball real well off me. So I think that was the biggest adjustment for me. And just using my pitches. I'm developing my slider right now. Last game I used it a lot, and I had a lot of success with it. So it's just I'm trying to grow as a pitcher, you know what I mean? So yeah, it's just probably development of my slider and my deception of my motion.
How will fans know, hey, that's a good slider that he's got today?
If you see me throwing it a lot, you'll know it's a good one. Because sometimes when it's struggling, I kind of shy away, go right to the changeup. But if I'm throwing it a lot, you know it's probably a good one that day.
Well, you said in a post-game interview with Kevin Gale, he asked you which pitch was working better, and you said changeup is always good, so it's my fastball today. Yeah. How did you get your changeup?
Well, I grew up, and my dad, he played, so he knew what the hardest pitch to develop was, and it was a changeup. And when I was 11, I hurt my arm throwing curveballs, and he's like, that's it. You're not throwing any more curveballs till you get to high school. And I didn't really throw a curveball until like my senior year of high school, so I was just fastball change. And I didn't really pitch that much either, so I would just work with it. And when I started pitching, I started playing around with the pitching coach. And just one day, I just found the slot and found the feel of it, and then it's just evolved over time. It just turned into a great pitch for me to go to, and obviously it's been working here. So that's the biggest thing. A lot of guys learn the curveball first. I was the complete opposite.
What grip do you use?
I use like 3-finger, and I just turn the thing over like a football. Like you throw a thumb to the ground. People are like, "How do you do that?" I was like, "Yeah, my arm's trained that way."
Does it give any of that scroogey motion to it?
Yeah, it kind of goes the other way a little bit. It looks like a slider going the other way. So.
And finally, who is the best table tennis player on this team?
Ooh, I think I'm not one. I play, but I try. I've never played before. Best table tennis. I would have to say either Lane or, well, now Romano. He's coming in pretty hot now. But maybe Lane or Harris or JC. Probably those three are probably the best. But the pros are up in Dunedin, and we had table tennis there. There's some studs up there, like Justin Schaefer. He's probably the best kid I've ever seen play ping pong.
Lansing Lugnuts pitcher Ryan Borucki. Ryan, thank you for your time.
Hey, thank you, Jesse.
I'm Jesse Goldberg-Strassler. This is Lugnuts Baseball on the team, 92.1 FM.